Hey everybody, welcome back to Sunnydale Review. I'm Brian.
I'm Jillian.
And Jill, how are you doing?
I'm good, how are you?
I'm doing quite well. This is the last episode we're recording on the first batch.
Yes.
So, it'll be a month of time for the people watching and listening at home. But for us, it's just been a few hours.
Yes.
And I'm excited because this episode that we're covering first is pretty ridiculous.
Oh.
What is the name of it?
iRobot, Eugene.
It's obviously a play on the Tarzan quote, but also a play on the play iRobot, very famous, which became a Will Smith movie that people may know. It has nothing to do with the play at all, but it was okay. It was very of a time. And speaking of a time, this was an episode certainly of a time. So what is it about?
Oh my god, this episode is so painful. So, first off, Passion of the Nerd, which YouTube channel, I love him. He's amazing. I am going to fangirl like this probably every episode, and I am not apologetic for it.
That's quite all right. Hey, guys, if you like this show, maybe you can help Joe out and get him as a guest for us. I know he has like 30,000 subscribers. It's fun.
That'd be awesome.
You want to see Jill completely fangirl out.
Oh my god.
Even more. Even more of a reason to.
But, so the way he describes this episode is terrible, horrible, awful episode that you kind of have to watch, but you may as well be drinking.
I don't know why he hates it so much. It's bad, but it's so ridiculous.
Okay, so just kind of in a nutshell, because it hurts my heart to talk about this episode for too long. This is the catfishing episode. Just going to put it out there.
Before catfishing was a thing.
Yeah. Well, no, it was probably just it was definitely a dangers of the internet PSA.
Oh, it was.
As the internet was really becoming a thing.
Yeah, I think when I was watching this again for the first time, I was like texting, I was like, this is like a 1990s version of Black Mirror.
Oh my god.
And I know you haven't seen Black Mirror, but
I haven't.
It's a fucking 1990s version of Black Mirror. It's so ridiculous. Some of the stuff that they did in this episode, it was very clear, like, no one really knows what the internet is or how it really would have worked back then. So it's just like definitely like, the internet is scary. Let's make it more scary. Then we get an introduction of a new character, at least.
Yes, a character who does become very important.
Yeah,
so I mean, one saving grace.
It's not as bad as it could be, but it's still not great. We got a giant robot demon.
Yeah.
At the end, which is so ridiculous.
So the idea of this episode is that the Giles has kind of recruited these super tech nerds to digitize his books.
Which makes sense. It's smart.
Yeah.
Because you can pull stuff up a lot easier. He doesn't have to be going around for 3 hours. Because he said in the last episode he's been researching for 6 hours. A lot of that has to just be him like, where's this book?
Yeah.
Where's this? And so I get it.
Yeah. I don't think they ever use the digitized library, though. No. They don't.
This is one plot point just for him to be like, I hate technology.
Giles does not like technology.
Yeah.
Giles is very much a, what is it? A physical book purist.
Yeah.
Let's call him.
He would 100% like only listen to vinyl.
Yeah.
Today,
Oh, yeah. He does.
Right.
He has a record player.
Right.
And listens to like old school rock.
Before it was cool.
Yeah.
He was just like into it.
And the way that I don't know if this was really a thing, but like the scanner that they use to scan in these books looks like one of those, like the black light LED things that you plug in.
Oh, yeah. He's
And it's like here's the book, and she's just kind of like using the light along the pages, and it's apparently scanning it into the computer. I don't know if that was actually like a thing.
Yeah. I don't think it was, because it also like comes out perfectly. Like if someone was really doing it, it'd be like off center and like fuck it up a lot. But it's just like.
So the idea is that there was this demon that was trapped inside a book, and then they scan the book into the computer, and the demon gets let loose into the internet.
I love it.
And
I love it.
Giles calls the computer the idiot box, which I think is amazing.
Right.
This episode, the one saving grace and the only reason to watch this episode is for the introduction of Miss Calendar, who is like the computer teacher at the school, and she has these other 2 students who are helping with this whole digitizing effort. So let's see. So she kind of has like this banter back and forth with Giles about how like she's very tech positive and he's very like book purist, like we already talked about.
It's like, get a chat room already, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So Miss Calendar,
you're like, I'm powering through that horrible joke.
Yep.
Don't ever say something like that again.
So Miss Calendar corrects him and says that an idiot box is a TV, not the computer.
Yes.
So Willow scans the demon book into the computer. This releases the demon trapped in the book onto the internet. Willow has... Oh, this is the episode Willow has a picture of her and Giles in her locker, and it's so freaking adorable.
It's not all bad.
The computer nerds get possessed by the demon, and it starts like talking to them through the computer, like really creepy. One of them has a line about when they're working with Giles, and Giles is like, I don't want to ever like touch a computer or go anywhere near a computer, blah, blah, blah. And one of them goes, if you're not jacked in, you're not alive. I'm like, oh my God. Oh, it hurts me. It hurts me. I want to slap this kid. But let's see. The computer nerds get possessed by the demon. Buffy has a spidey sense that something's wrong again. This kind of turns on and off throughout the series. They kind of stop it at some point. It's kind of stupid. Let's see. Xander's kind of jealous. He brings up to Buffy that so Malcolm is the online name that this demon is using to talk to Willow. So Willow kind of starts like falling in love with him and blah blah blah. Xander gets jealous. Kind of says to Buffy, like, this Malcolm guy could be anybody. We don't know who this guy is.
Right.
Which, like, okay, thank you, Xander, for being the voice of reason here.
Yeah, and that's fair. You don't know if it's a chat room who it is.
Yeah.
It's probably an older guy trying to talk to a high schooler.
Hundreds of thousands of year old demon trying to talk to a high schooler, because that's not weird. Willow starts not acting like herself. She's blowing off school. Buffy tells her that she's concerned, and Willow says, I don't know why you don't want me to have this. It's not as though guys chase me around. Like, Willow is just, like, starved for attention, and she loves Xander, but Xander's not giving her that attention because he really likes Buffy, and she likes Giles, but he's way too old for her, and that just never would have worked.
Right.
So kind of Buffy's torn between like wanting her friend to be happy, but also wanting her to be safe and smart and, you know, not putting everything into somebody she's never met.
Yeah, which makes sense.
Yeah. Xander has a really awesome line in this episode. To read makes our speaking English good. I just love him. Yeah. Oh my God. I
think this is about the time where I like get annoyed with Xander in season 1. I'm like, just date Willow.
Yeah.
Like, she's so awesome. Just forget about these other girls who are never going to talk to you, Xander. Idiot.
It hurts.
Yeah.
So let's see. Malcolm, so the demon in the computer, orders the 2 nerds to kill Buffy. Buffy almost gets electrocuted in the girls' locker room.
I like that it was like, they actually like made a smart trap. They didn't just try to like beat her up or something.
Oh, yeah.
But
well, they're 2 geeks. They wouldn't have been able to, even if she wasn't super
powered. Right? No, but I like that. I like because it would have been dumb if they're just like, oh, we'll just like go.
It was believable if that's a plan they came up with.
Right.
So they try to kill her. Buffy doesn't end up dying, obviously. And then they end up building like the robot, or they end up building the demon like a robot body so that he can have a relationship with Willow. I don't know if it's really made clear exactly what he wants to do with Willow, but like...
Yeah, he just wants to be out in the real world.
It's creepy, and Buffy ends up killing him. Willow's rescued, and
I did like, too, because since he is like a giant metal robot, she like tries to fight him at first, and like it does not work very well. It's like, well, yeah, he's a giant robot. You can't just punch him in the face.
Yeah.
I like, too, how he's like, build me... This is specifically what I look like in real life. Like, you need to give me the horns and all that shit. Like,
He's like, here, I put together the schematics.
Yeah,
Those are this, please. Because the demon just somehow knows that. Mm-hmm. Isn't this I think this is the episode where, like, Miss Calendar ends up doing, like, she's a techno Wiccan or something.
Oh my god, yeah, she is. I forgot.
And they have to do, like, an exorcism.
They have,
to
like,
get
a
this
chat room, like...
Yeah,
it's a lot.
They have to do, like, this technological exorcism to, like, remove the demon from the internet. And, what is it? Giles is just like, can't you just, like, make a computer virus? And she's like, you have no idea how the internet works. Which, like, every signal pointed to that. You're just stating facts at this point.
Yeah, Giles and the writers of this episode don't understand computers. We get it.
I mean, they might have understood it in the day. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know.
This was 1997. I was 5, so...
Right. So, I guess at the end of the day, Willow obviously doesn't get, with the robot demon.
No.
She gets betrayed. Very sad.
Yeah. Be careful of who you meet on the internet.
Yeah, they could be a demon.
Yeah.
That's what I was saying.
If you're going to meet someone from the internet, meet in a very public place.
Yes.
Like a mall. A very, very crowded mall.
Right.
Be smart and be safe on the internet, please.
Yeah. Because, it could be a demon that wants to become a robot. It's not, you don't need that in your life.
No.
You could also just be a regular murderer. Also.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be a demon. But, so would you give this out of 10?
1.
A 1. I give it a 3 just because it's so campy and ridiculous.
Oh my god.
It's worth watching.
Yeah.
At least because it's, especially looking back at it, it's like, what the fuck? Like, what is this show?
The biggest thing to take away from this episode is the introduction of Miss Calendar.
Yes, very important.
But that's about it.
And so do you think Miss Calendar was, like, mainly introduced to be just, like, a love interest for Giles, at least at first? Because it's very, like, he only cares about books. She's computers. They're opposites. How will they ever work?
I don't know. I mean, it could just be a way to... Well, they needed a way to introduce technology.
Yes, they did.
So they needed a technology teacher in the school. They also needed just any other teacher in the school because the only other teachers we've been introduced to at this point are dead.
Yeah.
These kids go to school, but there's no teachers.
It's amazing people keep taking the job.
Yeah.
It's like a defense against the dark arts position.
It's cursed.
After a couple of them, it's like, I don't think so, Dumbledore. Thank you, but no thank you.
And that's how you get Gilderoy Lockhart.
Mm-hmm. Oh, man.
Oh, but yeah. So, yeah, just watch the Passion of the Nerd episode on this and skip it. Yeah. I'm sorry. Yeah.
Now we're getting to an episode I don't think has to exist, personally, but I'm happy it does.
There are some elements of this that play into the greater, but it's not good.
It's just like fucking ventriloquist dummies will always be creepy.
Yes.
Of course, it's Slappy from the Goosebumps series.
I didn't watch Goosebumps.
You never even read the books?
I don't think so.
All right, well, he's a...
I got way too easily scared as a kid.
All right, fair enough. He's a ventriloquist dummy. He's in a bunch of those. He murders people. You know how it be. It's creepy. And then the new Toy Story.
What? I'm sorry.
You didn't even see Toy Story? The new one?
I didn't see the newest one. Not yet.
They're creepy ventriloquist dummies in that too.
Oh, God, why?
Gotta do it.
Why?
But I think what makes this good is you look at those and you're like, those are creepy. I hate that. I don't want that anywhere near me. But then in this episode,
he ends up not being the bad guy.
Exactly. Yeah. It's cool.
Subvert your expectations.
It's what this show's all about.
Okay, so let's get into this. The episode is season 1, episode 9, The Puppet Show. It is another not dealing with vampires episode. Mm-hmm. Basically, the school is having a talent show. Okay, I will say there are some very funny parts of this episode.
Yeah.
The school is having a talent show. Principal Snyder is introduced.
Yes.
So they finally replaced the principal after he got eaten by the students.
There's another one. You go to the job interview. So what happened to last guy? Oh, got eaten by some students.
And he's aware of it, too. He mentions it later.
Well, there's way more going on.
Oh, yeah.
With Snyder, which you can kind of tell from, like, the first moment. You're like, there's something about this guy.
It's really funny because Snyder hates children.
Yes.
And at one point, I don't remember if it's this episode, but Giles is like, for someone who hates children, I don't know why you took a position as a high school principal.
It's like, I don't know either. The money's terrible also. I don't know.
The working conditions aren't great. The last one got eaten. I don't know. So Giles was put in charge of the talent show unwillingly. It was a directive from Principal Snyder.
Because Giles interacting with other people is just always gold.
Principal Snyder makes Willow, Xander, and Buffy join the talent show. They have no idea what their act is going to be. There's Morgan, who is a ventriloquist, and he has the ventriloquist dummy. He's not very good until the dummy takes over.
Yes.
And starts making kind of sexist comments toward people.
Yeah.
It's totally fine.
The 90s. It's just how it was back then.
Played off as a joke.
High-tier comedy back then.
People in this talent show start getting killed.
Yeah. Never do anything at this school. If it's a group,
nope.
One by one, you will die.
You are better off going to class than going home and doing nothing extracurricular.
Yeah. Be like me in high school, guys.
Wait, were you a drama kid?
I was. Just making a joke. I also played football. I would have died.
Pretty sure these two murders
are the drama kids.
No, but end up happening in the theater.
Yeah, I would have no chance in high school. I took all city, you know what I'm saying? It's a callback.
So people in the talent show start getting killed. The dancer has her heart stolen. Morgan, the guy who was like the ventriloquist working with the dummy, he loses his brain.
Yeah, that sucks. Poor Morgan. He didn't do anything wrong.
No.
Like, he was just trying to help. He didn't ask for this, all right? He didn't ask for his ventriloquist dummy to be possessed by, like, a spirit. Nope. Like, poor Morgan.
Yeah. So there's a misdirection that we kind of already talked about in this episode where you're supposed to suspect that Morgan and or the dummy is the person killing people.
Yes. Yeah, definitely, like, the dummy's making Morgan kill people. That's what you think at one point, but nope.
I think it turns out that the demon was trying to steal Morgan's brain, but then he had, like, brain cancer. Yeah. That was explaining the headaches, and the demon has to, like, reject the brain. Yeah. It's this whole thing.
It's just fucking shit luck.
Yeah.
Doesn't understand no one's going to like his talent because everyone's going to be creeped out. It's just...
So...
R.I.P. Morgan.
R.I.P. Morgan. Let's see. Giles is having trouble balancing the talent show with his watcher duties, similar to how Buffy struggles to balance her slaying duties with her school and social life.
Now you see, Giles. Isn't easy out here.
Joyce wants to attend the talent show and support Buffy, which is a major turn from where her character was in The Witch. Mm-hmm. I said maybe she turned over a new leaf after her near-death experience in Angel.
You take one fork to the neck, you know?
Barbecue fork.
Start thinking about stuff differently.
So Cordelia is bugging the crap out of Giles. First of all, she's singing Greatest Love for the talent show, and it's charisma. If you can sing, which I don't know if you can or not, but if you do actually have the ability to sing well, you did a really good job at pretending that you did not. So Giles at one point tells Cordelia is talking to him, and Giles wants her to go away, so he tells her that there's something wrong with her hair, and she runs off, and he goes, Xander was right. It worked like a charm. So there are little gems within this horrible episode. Morgan's deteriorating, then he gets killed, and his brain is stolen. The group finds Sid, or the group thought Sid was the demon. Sid is the puppet.
Yeah.
Turns out that he is a demon hunter who was cursed and trapped in the body of the dummy. He needs to kill the demon to break the curse. Sid mentions knowing a slayer in the 30s who was Korean. This may come back later. I don't want to spoil anything.
Yeah.
But
Sid is like fun because he's from the 30s. He's like this old noir, like,
yeah,
you know, that's how he talks. He's sexist.
So sexist.
But you know, he's got a heart of gold at the end of the day.
Sure.
It's a demon hunter. You know how it is.
So Morgan had brain cancer, and the demon has to like reject his brain.
Yeah.
And he has to find another. The demon was hiding inside of the magician kid. Mm-hmm. So the magician kid asks Giles to help him with his magic trick, which is like a guillotine thing. Mm-hmm. But instead of it being like, oh, the guillotine's gonna come down and chop off your head, it's the guillotine's gonna come down and like chop open your skull right here.
Right. Gotta imagine that's still gonna damage the brain. It's not a quick and easy way to do this.
Yeah. But so the demon trapped, or like the demon hidden inside the body of the magical magician kid tries to basically kill Giles because he needs like a really, really smart brain.
Yeah.
Buffy.
There's no smarter brain than Sunnydale. I mean, this is before he's had too much of traumatic brain injury. But,
too many knockouts?
Yeah.
So Buffy ends up working with Sid. They defeat the demon. Sid's curse is lifted and he dies. So it's kind of like...
It's kind of like a weird scene. It, like, kills a demon. It's like... it's like, also dies back. And
he just goes, like, limp.
Yeah,
he's also
like
puppet.
the puppet. It's just... It's silly. It's
and
silly.
Buffy's there, like, cradling Sid's body. And you have the... Because the demon ended up getting killed in the guillotine. Mm-hmm. And then you have Willow and Xander are standing there, and then Giles is standing there. He was just saved from the guillotine machine. Yeah. And the curtain comes up, and it's just...
Everyone's just there. Yeah.
And it's Snyder going, I don't get it.
Yeah.
It's like, you're better off, buddy.
Oh, man.
But yeah, so this...
And Buffy almost gets guillotined.
Yeah.
It's good. It's part of the intro. It's in one of those scenes. You're like, I wonder where a guillotine's going to come into play in this. Very interesting.
Yeah. So, yeah, the only other good thing about this episode is at the end, during the ending credits, there is a scene, and it's the dramatic reading that the Willow, Xander, and Buffy decided to do since they got roped into having to join the talent show. And I think it's Oedipus. I'm fairly certain it's Oedipus. And it's the three of them up there on stage in, like, Greek robes. And they're so stiff, and it's awful. Mm. And then, but it may be one of the funniest moments of season one because Willow forgets her lines and runs off at one point. And apparently, that wasn't scripted.
Oh, no.
Apparently, Alison Hannigan was just like, I think Willow would get stage fright, forget her lines, and run off.
Yeah, I think that's a good call.
She did it, and it's freaking hysterical.
Yeah. I think for me, this is another 3 out of 10 just because it's so silly and so ridiculous. Yeah. But introduces the concept of demon hunters, which comes up later.
Yeah.
So important. A lot of these episodes are just laying the groundwork.
Yeah. Season 1 had a very Monster of the Week structure.
Oh yeah.
Because they were still trying to,
bet was the X-Files on during this time?
It might have been.
I bet that's what they, helped pitch them the show.
Maybe.
It's it's going to be Monster of the Week, like the X-Files, but out of high school. And people are tight. Right?
It gets better. This is another one, honestly, that I think you can skip. Mm-hmm. I gave it 2 out of 10, 2 sticks out of 10. Right. It's... If I'm gonna go back and rewatch, it's not one of the episodes I like to revisit. I watched it to take these notes. I don't think I had watched it for a good 5 years.
Probably won't watch it again.
No.
Yeah. All right. Next episode. PewDiePie. Next meme. No.
Sorry.
No. It's fine. Someone will have gotten it. The crossover of PewDiePie and Buffy fans.
Give Brian some support in the comments.
Whew, yeah, bombing up here. Gonna run off like Willow.
No,
dash out of frame.
Then you just leave me here alone, and we wouldn't have the funny because it's Buffy and Xander, and Willow was standing in the middle. Willow runs off, and Buffy and Xander just kind of move in to space.
Oh my god.
It's so funny. Oh my god. So season 1, episode 10, Nightmares.
Yes.
I don't like this episode, but for entirely because this episode is so effective reasons.
It's scary, yeah.
Okay.
Especially the scene of Xander when he goes into the alternate that's.
Oh my god.
Scary.
I don't do well with scary.
Mm-hmm.
I will say that right now. My cousin had me watch The Faculty when I was 10.
Scarred for life after.
It's an awful, campy, stupid body snatcher movie. Mm-hmm. But at the age of 10, as someone who hadn't really had a lot of horror movies in her growing up, I did not like that movie, and it scared the crap out of me. So when it comes to scary things like this with clowns and stuff.
Actual scary, yeah.
Yeah. Joss does a really good job of blending the scary with also funny. Mm-hmm. This is definitely a more scary, horror-driven episode.
Right.
Which I think definitely feeds into why I dislike this episode.
Okay.
I don't dislike it because it's bad. Mm-hmm. I dislike it because it's scary, and usually the scary is at least undercut with funny, and this So this is another not dealing with vampires episode. I do wonder if the network was too afraid of Buffy the Vampire Slayer being solely Buffy fighting vampires, so they had to have a ton of these episodes of Buffy not dealing with vampires.
Yeah.
So that's why The Witch, Teacher's Pet, what else? This one, The Puppet Show,
Out of sight, out of mind, out of sight. The next
Out of Mind,
episode.
Out of Sight, The Pack. These are all not dealing with vampires episodes in a show called Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
It's a good point.
Yeah.
Giles does say at the beginning that all the things you thought were not true, demons, zombies.
Yep.
Oh, they're all real. Except, well, zombies don't show up, but.
So I think this was their way of showing to the network, here, I know it's called Buffy the Vampire Slayer, but here are all the other things that we can show her facing.
It is good because some of the bigger villains in the show aren't vampires.
True.
There's some really good arcs in later seasons that, yeah. Anyways, back to this episode that you love so much.
So, starting off, Buffy has a dream about facing the Master and losing. Buffy sees a strange boy at school, then a student gets attacked by spiders. I freaking hate this episode. It's all of my fears. Spiders and clowns with knives and just no. Oh my god.
Xander not having clothes at school, that would be awful too.
Willow is also freaked out by the spiders. They basically everybody in the school starts living their nightmares. So Giles gets lost in the stacks of books. Xander all of his clothes disappear and he's just running around the school in his underwear.
Right.
Buffy didn't know about a history test.
Which is hilarious. Her whole day-to-day life is fighting demons and vampires, but her biggest fear is not knowing about a history class.
History test. Rather. Giles loses the ability to read.
What would be your fear if it manifested it?
God.
Do you have any recurring nightmares that the writers would turn into your fear for the show?
My teeth falling out?
Oh, that would be a bad one. Yeah.
I had this recurring one about I can't talk because I have all this gum in my mouth, and I keep pulling out pieces of gum out of my mouth, and it just keeps growing.
That's a bad one too.
Yeah.
Jesus. The only one I have, being done with school, I don't know why I still have this, but I've had it since high school, is it's the end of the semester or year, and then I find out that I had a class the whole time and I never knew and never went to it.
Oh, okay.
And I'm oh my god, I'm gonna fail this class.
Okay. So your fear is basically what Willow has, which is where she's been taking this drama class and she hasn't gone the entire semester, and it's opera performance day.
Yeah.
And so she's pushed out onto the stage in a kimono for whatever reason.
I know, that is weird. Kimono. That's opera.
And she is supposed to sing. But she doesn't know any of the words, and it's all in Italian. So.
Yeah. No, yeah, my dream is I was I'm oh my god, I had to do that. How am I ever gonna pass this class? I need to go like, and then sometimes I can't find the classroom because I've never been there. And it's like, oh, God, I'm going to fail. And then I wake up, I'm like, I'm not in school anymore. Why do I keep having this?
Or there's like, your alarm didn't go off and you're supposed to be at work.
Oh, that's happened in real life. It's not a good feeling. The first day I ever worked at McDonald's, my alarm did not go off, and I was like 2 hours late.
On your first day?
On my first day.
How long did you work at McDonald's?
Like 7 or 8 months.
Oh, God.
It was like at the end of college. I just came and I was like, hey, I'm really sorry. My manager was so mad. And I was like, I get it. I would be mad at me too. Yeah. I understand. And they're like, lucky for you, this is McDonald's. And we will literally let anyone work here no matter what. So it's like, thank God.
Yeah. So one of the biggest fears that honestly for me, like in this episode, one of the biggest fears that has the longest lasting effects on me is Buffy's dad comes to the school and he tells her that he doesn't want to spend time with her anymore, and that he blames her as the reason that the parents got divorced. It is such like a gut-wrenching scene for me to watch, and I literally hate her dad as a character.
Right.
For the
That's understandable, honestly.
The entire rest of the series. And this is something that, like, these fears that they're having, they're, like, it's real, but it's not real.
Right.
So, like...
That's something I have a question about. So, did her dad say that? Like, did this magical thing make her, or did she just see it? Like, does her dad know that he did this?
I think she just sees it. I
Okay.
don't think the dad was actually really there.
Gotcha.
Because like he comes at the end of the episode and picks her up from school, and they go off, and they're gonna have like time together or whatever. Because he still lives in LA. I think that's the thing. So that's why she lives with her mom in Sunnydale, and he's like in and out. But like this scene makes me hate him as a character for the entire rest of the show.
It's brutal.
It is.
It's so fucked up.
It is. So basically, the group works together. They find out that everyone's nightmares are coming true. There's a misdirection with Xander saying that he would be afraid if Nazis were chasing him earlier in the episode, and then he walks into a dark hallway, and there are swastikas painted on the walls. But then he ends up being chased by a murderous clown. I said call back to him being afraid of the mime in the last episode. I guess he had like a traumatic event with a birthday clown when he was a kid and something about balloon animals. So the master gets freed because Buffy fears it.
But he doesn't really.
But he doesn't really.
But
yeah. Let's see. Xander actually faces his fear and punches out the clown. He's the only one of them to really face their fear. And punches out the clown and yells at him about how like he was a stupid birthday clown and anybody can make a giraffe or something. Right. And then Giles has a nightmare that he fails in his duty to protect Buffy, and she dies.
Yeah, that was sad too.
Gets turned into a vampire. Like that was crazy. I do have a question in here. If a Slayer was turned into a vampire, would they be extra strong? Would they?
I think about that a lot too. Like, I say yeah, because that other vampire in the first and second episode is just like big and jacked, and that makes him inherently stronger. So if she already has superpowers, she'd be like even more. Yeah. You know? But then it's like, I don't know. Vampires just want to kill the Slayer. They don't care to, turn her. Because we haven't seen it. Well, maybe one day. But not in the show.
Not in the show.
Not in the show. There's no Slayers in the show that get turned into vampires.
Spoiler alert.
I want to say yes. I want to say yes that she would retain her powers. But bigger question, if she gets turned into a vampire, is she dead?
What?
Like when the Slayer dies, a new Slayer's chosen. If a Slayer becomes a vampire, is she dead or does a new Slayer get chosen?
I want to argue that with you. However, it's spoilery, so we'll come back to that. All
right. Well, see us in a few seasons. So you pick this up.
Oh my god, if we remember.
Right.
Oh god. Anyway, so They meet up with the little kid again. Turns out the kid is being like tormented by this monster thing. That keeps calling him Lucky Number 7.
Yeah.
The gang ends up back at the hospital. They find the little kid. He's in a coma because he was badly beaten after a Little League game. Coach comes in and is like, oh, I come here checking every day to see if he's woken up. He's my Lucky Number 7. They figure out that the Little League coach beat the kid because they lost a game, and the Little League coach blamed this one kid for them losing the Little League game.
It's a fucking lot, yeah.
So I think the Little League coach gets arrested.
I would say.
The kid kind of outs him and is like, there's 7 other players on the team, blah, blah, blah. And then he just kind of leaves mad. Like, I hope he got arrested for beating this little kid. But, so...
The manifestation, like, monster is pretty creepy.
Oh, my God, he's scary.
And, Buffy cannot, beat him up.
So they end up, beating him and everything goes back to normal. And that's when you find out that it was the Little League coach and blah, blah. As far as a watch or pass on this one, I say pass.
I like this one.
I don't like this episode.
A 5 out of 10 for me.
I give it a 4.
That's not bad. It's below average, yes, but...
A 40% is still a fail.
Well, it's not as much as a fail. It helps your overall grade later if you get a 40 instead of a 0. You gotta take your points where you can get them, Jill. Anyways, what's next?
Just watch the Passion of the Nerd episode on this one. Just
on this next one?
No, on this.
Oh, okay. I kind of like this one.
You like this one?
Yeah.
All right.
It's so sad.
Season 1, episode 7. Out of sight, out of mind. Or no, sorry. Out of mind, out of sight. I had it backwards. It's a play on the out of sight, out of mind. Saying,
right,
which is basically if you don't see something, you kind of forget it. This is if you don't think about something, they turn invisible and start trying to kill people at school, apparently.
Yeah, they do. I would be also pretty mad if I turned invisible because of people not caring,
Yeah,
that sucks.
Yeah. So this is yet another not dealing with vampires episode.
You had to save it all for all the vampire makeup budget for the last episode.
Right. In this episode, the writers were really forcing how self-involved Cordelia is.
Yeah.
It was annoying. Let's see. Buffy says how she used to be like Cordelia at her old school. She was not really nice. She was one of the popular girls, and yeah. Let's see. Students are being attacked by someone invisible. I will say this episode, Giles meets Angel for the first time officially.
Oh, interesting.
Angel says it hurts too much to see Buffy. Giles says a vampire in love with a Slayer. How poetic.
Right.
Let's see. They're weird, Men in Black looking guys at the school. They're in suits and just walking around campus. It's a little weird. So it turns out this girl, Marcy, turned invisible because nobody at school cared about her. And it's funny because Willow and Xander both had classes with her, both signed her yearbook. Buffy tracks down where Marcy has been living in the vents of the high school, and she's got a clarinet because she used to play in the band. And she pulls out the yearbook, and Buffy's like, "Did either of you know this girl?" And Xander's like, "Nope," and Willow's like, "Nope." And Buffy's like, because you both signed her yearbook, and they Xander wrote have a good summer, and Willow wrote have a great summer. Let's see. Cordelia asks Buffy for help, and they're gonna try to use Cordelia as bait, basically because they know that Marcy is after Cordelia.
We know you're a huge bitch to this girl. We don't. We never have any evidence about it. We just know you were.
I think they were flashback things to show.
Whereas probably I don't remember her, but it sounds like me.
So they're going to try to use Cordelia as bait to lure out Marcy. The school dance is going to be at the Bronze, which is an all ages club that serves alcohol is hosting their homecoming dance.
Hell yeah.
For whatever reason.
Can't have it in the gym. Buffy burn it down. Can't risk it.
Buffy and Cordelia have this nice conversation about how Cordelia feels alone a lot of the time, even though she's popular and constantly surrounded by people. She says, "Why do you think I work so hard to be popular? Well, it beats being alone all by yourself."
It's usually how it goes.
She's like, "I'd rather feel alone in a group than feel alone and actually be alone."
Fair enough.
I said writers trying to show a deeper side of Cordelia.
It was like the first time we get to see like Cordelia in a good light.
Yeah, it's still not great. Like, you still see how like she's was not
more
nice.
sympathetic.
Yeah, it's definitely the writers trying to get you to maybe not despise Cordelia.
Right.
Let's see. Marcy drugs and kidnaps Buffy and Cordelia, and then she locks Xander, Willow, and Giles in the basement with the gas turned on, trying to kill them. Like, she goes full crazy pants.
Yeah. She's out for blood.
Yeah. And then Angel ends up saving Willow, Giles, and Xander, because he is a vampire and not affected by the fact that they can't breathe because of the gas. So he ends up like saving them,
which I like a lot, because it's like, yeah, he's dead.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to breathe.
No.
So I hate sometimes in vampire stuff where people like vampires like out of breath.
Oh yeah.
Why?
Because
You're
the actor
dead.
is.
Yeah. Why?
It's like you needed to breathe to run.
Yeah. Anyways.
Let's see. Marcy says that she's going to give Cordelia a face no one will ever forget. She wants to like full on like Joker her.
Yeah.
Essentially, the loneliness has caused Marcy to go insane. Buffy beats Marcy using her spider sense. She like has Cordelia shut up and then like just kind of stands there, and you see like this like, oh, what is it, like all of the particles in the air, and it's like sensing where she is, and then she like karate kicks, and just you see like a thing hit the curtain in the bronze. Another theater type situation, even though they're at the bronze and not in the theater at the high school.
Well, it was funny because I forgot that they were in the bronze in my mind. It was in the theater.
Yeah.
So
it could have been in the theater. I mean, it's supposed to be the bronze, but like the stage curtain is closed, so it very easily could have actually been shot in the theater set. Let's see. Buffy beats Marcy using her spider sense. The FBI, like Men in Black type guys who you've been kind of seeing throughout the episode, take Marcy away for rehabilitation. Buffy says this has happened in before at other schools, and the agents say they are not at liberty to say.
Yeah.
I said I thought part of Marcy becoming invisible was because of the Hellmouth energy.
That's what I thought.
Which is like, so how is this happening in other schools if it's like this is supposed to be specifically for here? Little plot hole, I'm sorry. Cordelia thanks the gang for helping her, then goes back to bad-mouthing them around other people. So yeah, she changed, but not really. Or she changed, but not
publicly,
yeah.
Not great.
And then the episode ends with Marcy getting put into a school with other invisible kids where they are going to turn them into assassins. So much for rehabilitation. This never comes up again.
No, unfortunately, one of those things that they just, but also kind of like builds out the world overall. Like the government knows. Yeah. And it kind of sets up other stuff where the government maybe steps in later seasons, maybe. Yeah. You know, but still. Because you like think about it, you're like, what are the people in charge doing about this? Yeah. And it's like, okay, they're involved.
You also gotta wonder though, if she's at a school, like, could this be reversed if she becomes friends with other kids who are invisible at the school? Like, could they all become visible again? I don't know. But yeah, well, as far as watch or pass, I give this a pass. I don't know.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah. 3, 4, whatever. It's fine. It's sad.
It's like.
Also, makes Cordelia more redeemable. So I guess that's important for the overall show. Yeah.
Just if you ever notice that your friends are turning invisible, tell them you care.
Yeah, exactly. We're almost there.
Yeah. So I gave this one 3 steaks.
Yeah. Yeah. Like I said, 3, 4, anywhere in that area, depending on how I'm feeling on a given day. Mm-hmm. All right. So this one important. Yes. The finale, and I think good.
Oh, amazing. Yeah. This is my absolutely you have to watch this episodes.
It's written and directed.
Written and directed by Joss Whedon, which is very recognizable in just how amazing this episode is. It is the season 1 finale, so episode 12, since they were running a half season. So you want to just jump into it?
Yeah, let's do it.
All right. So Angel was able to get Giles like this super rare book that had been lost. That's why he was coming back to talk to Giles in the last episode when he saved Giles, Willow, and Xander from the gas room.
Right.
Xander is rehearsing about asking out Buffy to... I think they're having another school dance. Like, this is 2 episodes in a row of school dances. Maybe, like, the last one got postponed because Cordelia got attacked.
Possible, yeah.
But they're, like, having another school dance. And so Xander is rehearsing asking out Buffy to the dance on Willow. Poor Willow. Because she's like feeling like he's asking her, but he's not. He's just practicing. And it's so, like, heartbreaking.
You hate to see it.
So Giles is translating the book where it says, the master shall rise and the slayer shall, like, die. And he says, the master shall rise and the slayer, my God. And then there's an earthquake.
Yeah.
So Giles is very, like, shaken by this when he figures out that Buffy has to die.
Yeah, literally and figuratively.
Yeah.
Because the earthquake.
Yeah. So he becomes, like, very distracted. Xander asks Buffy to go to the dance with him on a date. Buffy says she doesn't want to ruin their friendship. Xander gets really kind of mean.
Yeah. Does not handle rejection well at all.
No. And it's like, okay, real talk for a second. If you like a girl, ask her out. Absolutely. But don't, like, turn into an asshole when she says no.
Also, I have some advice as a guy. You kind of know if a girl's going to say yes or no. So there's no reason to be a dick. If you went for it and she said no, you probably knew she was going to say no beforehand.
Yeah.
In my experience, you have a general understanding of people and whether or not they're interested in you. And Buffy is very much not interested in Xander, and it's very clear.
In a relationship way, though. Like,
right.
she still wants to be friends with him. They're really good friends.
Right. But that's like a different thing. Like, it's... I don't know.
And there has been build up to this. Because, like, in... I know we didn't mention it, but in, like, the witch, he, like, buys her a bracelet, and it says, like... my always or something. It says, like, something super romantic, and he was like, oh, you know, I didn't do that, like, they all said that, blah, blah, blah. But, like, there's definitely been laying the groundwork for Xander to have an attraction to Buffy. Right. There's also been a lot of laying the groundwork for Buffy only seeing Xander as a friend.
It's been very clear.
Yes.
Buffy did not lead Xander astray at all.
No, not at all. So, yeah, just handle rejection with some grace if you can.
Yeah, don't be a dick, guys. And like I said, you probably know what's going to happen before you go into stuff like that. You know. That's all I'm saying. Anyway, off my soapbox.
So getting away from that just a little bit, Giles calls Angel, lets him know kind of what is going on about what the book says, because he's been translating it. Angel, I don't know if he was able to actually read it. Miss Calendar shows up. She says all the evidence, like, online in her Techno-Wiccan, like, chatty rooms.
Techno-Wiccan chatty rooms.
That's what that's what one of them calls them at one point. I think Giles calls them the chatty rooms.
I like Giles so much.
He's so, like, anti-technology, but he knows how to use a telephone.
Right.
So Miss Calendar says, like, all the evidence is pointing that there's going to be an apocalypse. A monk has been emailing Miss Calendar about the Anointed One. I have in my notes, monks have email? Apparently.
This one does.
Let's see. Cordelia asks Willow to help set up the AV room stuff at the Bronze for the dance. I said, didn't they just have a dance in the last episode? I guess Willow is in every kind of
she is.
every kind of nerd club. She's a computer nerd. She's in the AV club. She's in the science club. Like, she's in all the extracurricular.
That's insane. Because I'll say I'm a video nerd. I don't know shit about science. It doesn't. I spend enough of my time learning about this stuff. When would I have time?
Let's be honest. if like there was a crossover between Buffy and Harry Potter, Willow would be best friends with Hermione.
Yes, they would get along. Yeah, you're for even future stuff. Yeah, they'd be very.
Willow is the Hermione of the group.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. So Willow's just kind of she's in every kind of nerd. Let's see. Xander asks Willow to be his date to the dance. As total rebound, but he's like, yeah, let's go as friends. We'll have fun. Blah blah blah.
Yeah, which is fair. Yeah, go as friends, have fun. Cool. Not nice because he knows presumably Willow's like more interested, but if he doesn't, I guess. I don't know.
But Willow says no.
Yeah.
She said she doesn't want to be the fallback for Xander and watch him at the dance, wishing he was there with Buffy.
Yeah, that's fair.
I gotta applaud her for this because she has a crush on Xander that has been very well established, but she has the self-respect in herself, which I don't know if she would have at like the beginning of the season.
Yeah.
But like through like kind of working with Buffy and Buffy kind of building up her confidence a little bit, she has the confidence to say, no, I'm not going to be your fallback and watch you being there wishing you were with somebody else.
Yeah. So that goes out to everyone out there. Don't be someone's fallback.
Yeah.
It's not going to work out.
Let's see. I literally have all of that in my notes and I hadn't even read it yet. Good job, past me. Yeah. So let's see. So they start seeing signs of the apocalypse at Sunnydale High. So, like, the water in the school turns to blood, which, like, they show it in a sink. But I'm thinking, like, there are showers in the locker room and there's, like, toilets. Like, that would be really freaking nasty. I would not be going to school.
No.
Buffy goes to...
Mom, can you pick me up? There's blood in the faucet, so not trying to do that on this Thursday.
Like, Mom, something's going down here, and I do not feel safe. Just a PSA to all you kids out there who may be in high school. Yeah, if the water ever starts turning to blood, get the hell out.
Yeah, or stick close to that blonde chick that, like, seems really sporty and, like, strong. Because she probably would have accidentally thrown someone across the room at least once at this point. You would know to stick near her.
Oh, my God. No, because she would be running toward the danger. You don't want to stick with the person running toward the danger.
That's fair.
Just go home. Just go home.
Oh, man.
So Buffy goes to tell Giles about the blood and finds him talking to Angel. First time she has seen Angel since the Angel episode.
Right.
So she overhears them talking about the prophecy. Giles says, tomorrow night, Buffy will face the Master and she will die. Buffy's reaction is to laugh and then freak the hell out, which, like, I'm sorry. She is 16 years old and just found out that she's going to die tomorrow night and that this really scary dude is going to kill her. And, like, okay.
After just having, like, a thing where it's, like, her greatest fear is that he gets out. Yeah, it's bad.
So I haven't written here in my notes. The scene with Buffy, Angel, and Giles is hands down the best scene in the entire first season. Watching Buffy start to go through the stages of grief, being shock, denial, anger, bargaining, as she first laughs, then thinks it's not real, then she gets angry, then she says she's quitting. She's like, I quit being the Slayer. I didn't sign up for this.
Yeah, that's not fair.
No. And just the look on her face when she says, do you think it will hurt? Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, you have to realize that this girl is 16 years old. She doesn't even have her driver's license, and she is faced with the reality that she's going to die the next day at the hands of someone she is terrified of. Like,
she still goes and tries to fight him.
Yeah.
So, credit to that, because I would be not in the state anymore.
Oh my God.
I'm not gonna die. Fuck this.
She says, Giles, I'm 16 years old. I don't want to die. I'm like, girl. Oh my God. Passion of the Nerd.
SpongeBob and he was like, all right, I'm about to head out. That's how I would be.
So, Passion of the Nerd. I don't know if this is my first speak out in this episode. I don't remember, but I love him.
We definitely mentioned it at the top about the computer demon.
Oh, yeah, true. Yeah. So he said, this scene signifies an important shift in the series from being a clever show about monsters in high school to being a show about characters with hearts and souls and the consequences of these horrible situations they have in their lives. It's like, yeah. It's okay. It's like you're faced with a reality in like the first episode, really, the pilot episode, that major characters in this universe can die. But you're not expecting it to be Buffy.
No.
You're not expecting it to be like
Buffy the Vampire Slayer.
I know.
So you would think she's safe.
And like she acts like an adult. She acts, I mean, not entirely mature, but like she's got a lot going on and she's doing her best to juggle it.
And she also has powers.
Yeah.
So like if you're a little immature like and cocky, that makes sense.
Yeah.
You're super strong and like fast reflexes, so.
But then coming to the realization that like deep down, like this is all stuff that happens on the surface, but like deep down, she is 16 years old.
Right.
So
and, can't escape prophecy.
She tries to though. She tries to talk her mom into taking her on a road trip for the weekend, and Joyce is like, "Is it because you didn't or you don't want to go to the dance? Did somebody not ask you that you wanted to ask you?" And Buffy literally like can't explain to her mom what's going on, and then Joyce is like, "Oh, I have a surprise for you." Opens up Buffy's closet, which like leads me to wonder like how long.
Thank God Angel was in there, you know.
Yeah, but how long has the dress been hanging in Buffy's closet? And Buffy just didn't notice. But Joyce bought her like the dress that she had been eyeing at the mall that she really wanted to wear to the dance, and it's like this pure white, very very pretty dress. So Joyce convinces her that she should go to the dance. So going away from that, Cordelia's boyfriend and his friends, who I guess were in the AV club. I don't know how Cordelia was dating an AV nerd, but so they were supposed to be setting up all the AV stuff at the Bronze. I don't know why Willow wasn't with them, but they got attacked by vampires and were murdered. And Willow is just absolutely devastated. She feels like her world has been stolen. Allison Hannigan's performance as she's like basically in the fetal position on her bed. Yeah. And being like, it's not our world anymore. Like it's their world. And I used to hang out in that room every single day and it was like my safe space and now it's not. Like I absolutely feel her pain. I absolutely understand where she's coming from. My only problem with this is that these were like Cordelia's boyfriend and like his friends, and they were supposed to be setting up like the AV stuff, and you know, I don't know exactly how well she knew them. Right. However, her reaction to them being killed is like 50,000 times more than Jesse getting killed in the pilot episode. Again, Jesse, best friend ever, never mentioned again. They never mourn his death. They're like back and smiling and having a good time at the school at the end of the pilot episode. Like, that's my only kind of gripe with this is that like, girl, your reaction was so much bigger when it was like these guys that like you barely even seem to have known.
Yeah, and it's like you could, and maybe it's part of the like, oh, back then television was like, we want someone to be able to flip to this channel and just start in on any episode, you know? But like if they do reboot Buffy, they can definitely like have it be more of a build of like, oh my God, all this crappy stuff is happening to them, and then this is like a push over the edge moment, you know, and never forget that Jesse was their friend and mention him more. But we'll see.
Maybe we'll see. I have heard that the reboot is not gonna be like, they're not like rebooting Buffy.
They're not doing like the same show.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Which is good, because if they are not allowed to touch Buffy, especially not if Joss is involved. If Joss is not involved, like I don't want them going within like 100 miles of it. Just don't touch my childhood.
I know what you mean. Yeah.
But anyway, so Giles brings Miss Calendar into kind of like the inner circle of knowing things. Miss Calendar asks how Buffy's going to face the Master. Giles says she's not going to face the Master, I am. Which, Giles, appreciate you trying to protect Buffy, however, stupid idea. It's okay.
Knocked out.
Yeah. You get knocked out just from the most basic of demon.
Right. So it gives you a strong look.
Yeah.
You're unconscious.
You just... What does he say at one point? Like, I'm just a librarian who has a tendency to get knocked on the head. So Giles and Buffy have a great, like, bickering moment about who's gonna go face the Master. Giles says, I'm older and wiser than you, and just do what you're told for once. So Buffy knocks him out.
It's reasonable.
I think that's knockout.
I do enjoy that, like, moment of Giles just being like, no, just listen to me for once. God.
He gets, I don't know if it's very British or very un-British, because he's not doing the stiff upper lip. He's doing the do what you're told.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Buffy accepts that she might die. She's hoping that maybe she'll just take the Master with her. Mm-hmm. She's like, if I have to die, maybe I can take him with me.
See, if she has to die.
Yeah. Because she's realized that, like, nobody in the town is safe.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know what her plan was for keeping everybody in the town safe after she died. If, like, the Master was only one piece of it, it's not like all the other vampires were gonna, like, go away. It's not like in Vampire Diaries where, like, if you kill one of the original family, like, all the other vampires that were sired from them also die.
Oh yeah, right.
So next, Xander is upset that Buffy left. Thinks she's going to die, so he goes to Angel to help. Willow is upset that Miss Calendar got added to the club. Not sure why.
Moving in on Giles is not cool.
I thought they had a good relationship with the whole, like,
computer
technology
stuff,
thing. Miss Calendar is way more focused on the fact that the Hellmouth could open and a bunch of demons could get let loose. Not as concerned with Buffy.
Right.
Shows the difference between her and.
I don't even know Buffy. Did they ever even talk?
Yeah, I mean, she knows that Buffy helped with the catfish monster, but
Right.
It really shows the different, like, so Miss Calendar, oh gosh, Miss Calendar's way more focused on the fact that the Hellmouth could open, not as concerned about Buffy. Really shows the difference between like her and the group, because the group who loves Buffy are more concerned about her. And Miss Calendar's kind of on the outside going, okay, but, like, bigger picture here, guys.
Also.
Hellmouth could open. Yeah. Not good. So let's see. Xander and Angel both acknowledge that they are in love with Buffy. Xander calls on Angel's love for Buffy, or goats him into proving that he does love Buffy by helping to find the Master. Miss Calendar wants to know where the Hellmouth would open. They initially think it's at the Bronze, but then they quickly figure out it's at the high school. The Master reveals... Oh, okay. So this is the point where the Anointed One comes in. The Anointed One, the entire purpose of him is to lead Buffy to the Master. So it's just this little kid who's out in, like, this, like, park. And he's just like, help me. And Buffy's like, dude, I know who you are.
Yeah, it's so funny. She's just like, yeah, just fucking lead me.
Yeah. And so, like, the kid actually, like, takes her hand and just leads her off, and they go find the Master. The Master reveals to Buffy that the prophecy was written in a tricky way. Buffy knew that the Master would be set free if she was trying to stop him, but really he needed the power that comes from her blood to give him the strength to be set free. So if she hadn't have gone to face him, he wouldn't have been able to get out, which is really annoying.
Yeah. Should really explain everything in the prophecy. It's not fair to...
Well, I mean, it's not the only prophecy that we see in this series that's, like, written in a tricky way. So
yeah, it's one real important prophecy.
Yeah.
Also in the series.
So let's see. The Master bites Buffy, then leaves her in a puddle to drown. He doesn't actually, like, kill her all the way. She drowns. Xander and Angel find Buffy dead in the puddle. She's not breathing. Xander, like, says to Angel, like, we have to save her. And Angel's like, I have no breath.
Yeah. Hey, it's good. This is good. Like, it helped in the other episode, but now he's useless in this situation.
I do wonder if it would be possible, like if he could expand his lungs and breathe into Buffy, which would actually give her more oxygen if his body isn't processing the oxygen. Because, like, you breathe in oxygen and then you breathe out, like, carbon dioxide. Yeah. So it would have potentially given her more oxygen if he had given her mouth to mouth. However, I don't know if he's so strong that he could have, like, popped her lungs. I don't know.
His lungs are just all shriveled up because he hasn't used them in 240 years.
But if he... Okay, here's my thing with that. If he doesn't breathe, how does he talk? Because
it's not a perfect thing.
The air has to go over your vocal cords to be able to talk, and we know he can talk. So clearly there's some sort of movement of air. I don't know. It's a thing that annoys me.
But he can also like go underwater for as long as he wants, which is cool.
Yeah. So let's see. So all of these vampires start trying to converge at the library. So the gang is trying to like get out of there because
everyone's here.
It's Willow, Cordelia, and Giles, and they think that they need to go to the Bronze, but then it's like all the vampires are converging at the high school, so they're like, oh crap, it's going down here instead. Yeah. Cordelia ends up saving Willow and Miss Calendar from the horde of vampires being drawn to the school. She drives her car through the school, which I think is like so cool, but also really dumb. I don't know. Let's see. Giles, Willow, Cordelia, and Miss Calendar barricade themselves in the library. Giles uses a printer on a wheelie cart to block the door.
Do what you gotta do.
Maybe
you can lock it in place.
I'm not sure how effective that's supposed to be, considering that the library doors are swinging doors and they swing both ways.
Oh my god. I was thinking the same thing. Now that you bring this up, when I watched it way back when we were originally gonna do this, I'm like, how does this work?
I have
the vampires are just dumb.
I have this thing. It's called the Buffy School of Barricading Doors. They can never barricade a door effectively.
Right.
Especially the library doors, because they both swing in and swing out. They're kind of like think of like a restaurant. And so they can barricade one side, but somebody from the outside can just open it and
come over their barricade.
The barricade isn't meant to stop the doors from opening. It's meant to like slow them down coming in the door, I guess. Or they just never think it through. I don't know. Really, they should just get like a pole that can go across the like handles
so
to prevent the doors from swinging either way. But, yeah, whoever's gonna reboot Buffy, please bring us on as like consultants for the proper way to barricade a door. Because
listen, this is important.
Please have your characters know how to barricade a door. I mean, I understand that their inability to properly barricade a door is used as like a comedy factor, but it's a little bit frustrating for me every time they do it. Let's see. So Buffy is woken up by Xander, who gives her mouth-to-mouth resuscitation. And she's like this new and powerful drive to take on and kill the Master. She says she feels strong and different. And then this is the one and only time that the theme song plays other than in the opening credits.
It's cool though. It's like
and she has like this
moment.
Oh yeah, she has this like power walk to go take on the Master, and she's got Xander and Angel like flanking her. It's a total like cool superhero moment. The demons start crawling up through the floor of the library, as well as the vampires trying to break into the library. There's a crazy 3-headed demon that comes out of the floor. It kind of looks like a Little Shop of Horrors. Turns out the Hellmouth is directly under the library.
Should have known.
Oh, great place. I'm surprised that like Giles didn't know, just because he works there. Let's see. Buffy has this great line about, I may be dead, but I'm still pretty, which is more than I can say for you. Oof. And she says to him, you have fruit punch mouth. This is her talking to the Master when she finds him. She finds him on the roof of the library, and there's like a skylight, which never comes up again. But there's a skylight over the library. And he says, you were destined to die. It was written. And she says, what can I say? I flunked the written.
So good.
This is why I love Buffy. She's so funny. Let's see.
They have the Master who appreciates a good joke. Like, you get something in your eye. He's like, damn, that was good. Like, just under his breath. If they do reboot in this moment like that, it should have that.
I have a note in here that says holding up a cross seems to work more like a force field in season 1 for some reason. But Buffy throws the Master through the skylight into the library, and he lands on a broken piece of railing and gets staked and dies. It's
pretty dope. And he doesn't completely dust, right? Like, his bones stay.
Yeah, he's so old that his bones like don't turn to dust.
It's pretty creepy
for some reason.
Honestly.
They
have to like bury him.
Yeah. I do have a note in here. Okay, first, when did the library get a skylight? I think there was only ever used or seen in this scene. Haven't noticed natural light from above in any library scene ever.
No, I do think it was like a, okay, like hear me out. This would be cool.
Yeah.
And they were like, Fuck it. Yeah, that would be cool. We're going to do that.
So they defeat the Master, and everyone's like, okay, what do we do now? And Buffy's like, we save the world, I say we party. And
yeah. I feel that, yeah. You gotta blow off some steam after dying and coming back to life.
Yeah. So it's never explained why Cordelia was at the school and not at the dance to begin with. But
it's part of the gang now, you know? Yeah. All right, one of the Scoobies. Is that how it's said?
Not yet.
Not yet. What? Not yet?
Not yet.
Oh, okay. My bad. I didn't say Scoobies.
Can we just
I said something. Not the beep. Little like surprise like angel face over her mouth or something.
like a bleep with like a spoilers.
Yeah. Oh, Brian's real bad. We make that a tracker. There's the amount of times Brian accidentally spoils shit.
Oh my god. That'd be great.
Because I don't think before I say stuff. It's like, yeah, this is good.
Oh. But I will say, Passion of the Nerd did have a nice little note on this episode, or like the ending. He said, this episode was the first time that the show seems to be aware that the human drama about, or like around these fantastic events is what's interesting, not the events themselves.
Yeah, I agree.
He said this low-budget television show can't really offer a spectacle necessary to make like giant killer bugs and dummies interesting by themselves, but you have these fantastic these fantastic characters that people can identify with, and that's what's like more interesting.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think I always like when characters are like, okay, we're gonna lose. Like, there's a prophecy, I'm gonna die, but I'm gonna still go and like try. You know, I always like that because it's such a like. Most people will be like, I need to get out of here. I'm not going to try. Like, this is screwed. But I like it when it's just like, well, we're probably going to lose, but we have to at least try.
Right.
We're going to die anyways, you know?
Yeah. So as far as watch or pass on this episode, just watch.
Yeah.
Just do it. No explanation needed. Just watch it.
Yeah. I'd say for me is a 9 out of 10.
I'd go with a 9.
Yeah. That's fucking awesome.
So I love this episode. It does such a good job of setting up like a base for the entire rest of the series.
And yeah, that is it. We did it. We right there. Season 1 is in the books. Our episode 4 is over. It's a long day. Yes. It's like 4 hours straight of filming.
Oh my god.
It's worth it.
Yes.
So, Jill, what would you like to add before we sign off?
If you guys saw anything in this episode that you think we should work on, anything you want us to do different, leave it down in the comments.
I'm sure there's plenty of critiques, which is fine. We love critiques.
So leave that down in the comments. We will try to, because like we filmed we probably filmed 4 or 5 episodes today alone.
Oh, yeah, 4. Yeah.
So going forward, we would have time to make those adjustments. So if there's anything that you'd like to recommend, let us know.
Yeah.
Anyway, as the last time, hopefully, I will have to say this. Give me a reason to use Twitter.
Yes, hopefully by the next time we record, you'll have enough reasons to use Twitter.
Maybe if somebody reaches out to me, I can be like, hey. So, I am at Jillian_Swan, and that's Swan with 2 N's. So give me a reason to use Twitter. I don't know. Send me a tweet or something.
Please do.
Make it nice.
Yeah. Passion of the Nerds. Follow her. She's perhaps your biggest fan.
That would be so cool. I would die.
Thank you guys so much for watching.
Not really. Sorry.
No, sorry. Thank you guys so much for watching. You can find me on Twitter at @TheFakeBMar. That's BMARR. You can find the channel on Twitter at WGEverything, on Instagram at WickedGoodEverything. Of course, on Twitch at twitch.tv/WickedGoodEverything. The main channel is at youtube.com/WickedGoodEverything. This channel is youtube.com/a lot of random characters because we don't have a custom URL when we're recording this. Hopefully we will by the time this episode comes out. We need 100 subscribers to make it. Well, you can find it by searching Wicked Good Podcast. Find us on iTunes, Sunnydale Review. Leave us a rating. Say some nice things. Please. It helps us a lot. And show your friends who maybe either you're trying to get them into Buffy and it's like, hey, there's a podcast. We can also have the show and something else to relate over. Or, if you have friends who are already big fans of the show, maybe, and you like this podcast, maybe tell them about it.
Yeah.
We'll see you for season 2.
Yes.
soon. Next week, when you're listening to this.
Hopefully.
But not next week for us. We got a little bit of time
Oh my God.
we can record this. Oh, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great rest of your day. Bye. The Sunnydale Review is a Wicked Good Everything production. The fan art of Buffy was created by Fishbone Art. The logo was created by Tamar Kutab. The original intro and outro song was created by Alex Carl.